Coach Dan here from Rise Above, and I'm here to teach you how to do a kettlebell swing. So a lot of people do kettlebell swings incorrectly because they think it's a forward-backward movement. This is actually an up-down movement, meaning that, sure, your hips are going forward and back, but you have to think that you're going down and up. I'll sort of get into that in a second here. But the biggest thing with your kettlebell swing is it's no different than a hip hinge, meaning that any sort of deadlift pattern where we're taking the hips and where they drop back and then coming out back up. This is literally the movement of a kettlebell swing. It's all through the hips. So the kettlebell, as you're standing up, is going to be in this upright position. As you're coming down into your hip hinge, the kettlebell is going to go between the legs, and then again, it's going to be back up. So if you're really having trouble with this or feeling it in your low back, start with deadlifting and get your deadlift movement pattern down first, and then apply that movement pattern to your kettlebell swing. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick that kettlebell up, and the first thing that I'm really going to do with this is a hip hinge, where I'm taking those hips, pushing them back, and then as I'm coming up, those arms are going to come up. Now the one thing with the kettlebell swing is that a lot of people get wrong, you don't need to go much higher than really chest height on this. But you can see all I'm doing with my hips is back and up, back and up. And like I said, that's where people get wrong, is they think it's a back, and then what they do with the hips is they push them forward and then they lean back and your kettlebell goes really high. Like I said, you only want it about chest height with that kettlebell. Don't bother swinging it all the way up and over your head. Waste of time, way better exercises to do overall. But remember, this isn't a forward-back movement. It's an up-down movement, and that's where your power is going to be generated from this. Think of it as like you're trying to jump as you're coming up without actually jumping. And that's how you do your kettlebell swing.